The best retirement advice ever from people who lost everything. Everything. All right, you moderate maniacs, how's your week going? For these people, not too good. And wait until you hear the last story. I've never heard anything like it. It just kind of went, pow. So here you go. Here's number one. And as I always do in these videos, I'll be going up and down like this reading, so please forgive me. Number one, this is a man who bought what he called a bad house in the real estate boom. He spent all his savings trying to fix up this house. He lost his home eventually in a foreclosure, and he believes that he's going to have to work the rest of his life because of the money he lost in the house. What's the lesson there? As I said in a recent video, if you're of retirement age, don't try flipping houses. It's like one of the worst things you could do. Here's an example. He went in, he bought a house, the market was bad. What did he expect? And also, if you're putting all your money in, what do you do after putting, like, let's say $50,000 in, and you're noticing property values are going like that? You're going to have to sit on it. So guys, if you're of retirement age, I highly advise against trying to flip a house. Yeah, that's not the way you want to go. Hey, for those of you who see me for the first time, my name is Duane, and this is a retirement channel for people on moderate income. If you think you might like that, think about subscribing and like the video as well. Number two, this man was married for over 10 years, and he lost the vast majority of his savings in a divorce. I got all these examples from Reddit, by the way. Now, here's the lesson here. And why, it doesn't say when he discovered this, or if he discovered it early, he didn't do anything about it. But his lesson, he says his lesson is when your spouse stops contributing to your joint retirement accounts without telling you, that might be a hint that they might not want to be in the marriage anymore. Okay, that's a big one, obviously, right? I mean, it doesn't say how long it took him to find that out, but yeah, if you're in a joint account with a spouse, I think you'd keep a little more, diligent tabs on that, wouldn't you? At least I would. It's not about snooping. It's just about, checking your finances, stuff like that. Make sure you got all that information, ducks in a row. Do like a quarterly check. Now, this guy doesn't say, but it sounds like it went a while before he checked, right? Big mistake, big mistake. Number three, this couple had 2 adult children that had major medical issues. Doesn't say what the issues were, but the kicker, these were adults. They had no medical insurance. It wiped out their parents' savings. Now, I get it in a way, I guess. When your kids get to be adults, it's their own responsibility, right? But if you're going to be the person behind them as the parent who has to step in, forget about, it could be a medical emergency. It could be a bad loan they got into and then just quit paying the loan. In the medical part, wouldn't you just be a good parent to make sure that your kids had health insurance? That's the first thing you need, right? I don't care how old you are. You're in your 20s. We're never going to get sick. Yeah, things happen sometimes, That would be the first thing you'd think you'd check on as a parent, right? Now, I never had kids. I could be totally speaking out of line here. Give me some comments, guys. What do you think about this? Should that have been the parents' responsibility to make sure their kids had health insurance? Leave me some comments here. Number 4, this person lost $250,000 in the 2008 market crash in their 401k. Because of this, it made them skittish. They never saved in investment accounts for retirement again. Now, it sounds like they didn't save at all after 2008 because they lost everything. It made them shy, whatever. Now they've retired and they're living on Social Security alone. All I can say to that is, you know what? Things happen in investments, things happen in the market. It always goes like this, right? But over the long term, it is shown that stocks return about 10% on investments. Guys, you have to be, I don't care what we've gone through, 2008, 2000, what was it, 2001, 2000? I don't care what we've gone through. They always come back. You got to get back in, and also for that goes for like timing the market as well. Don't time the market. That never worked. No, I take it back. It might work once, but that'll make you overconfident to try it again. Don't do that. Okay. So when you're investing, you got to stay invested. For those super conservative people, doesn't have to be in stocks. I mean, the best thing is to have at least like 50, 60% in stocks. But if you want to go all bonds, I guess that's okay. 6-month treasuries, whatever makes you feel comfortable. But for me, it's got to be at least the majority of your savings in stocks. Okay. Don't do what this guy did. Went through a bad time and just said, forget it. They're living on Social Security now. Yeah, not good. Number 5, this guy quit his job in 2008. Where am I? He quit his job in 2008 and couldn't find a replacement job. He quit his job. He was not fired. Okay, he quit because he didn't like his job and he couldn't find a replacement job. He lost his savings, his retirement, and his house. He is still recovering from his low credit score because he couldn't get another job. Easy one, right? Unless you have a job lined up, don't quit your first job. This guy lost everything, his retirement savings, his house, everything, because he quit a job he didn't like. Now, I have to admit, I did that once, okay? I was in a job that I just could not stand. I went in there with one expectation, that I would be doing something that seemed doable to me. When I got there, they flipped it on its head. I was going to be doing something that 3 people it usually took to do that job. After 2 weeks, I saw the writing on the wall that this is what my job would be. I left. This was back when I was, I think, 45 or so, or was it longer? 48 maybe? Could have been 50. 50. 50 years old, you don't want to do that. I did it because literally I was going out crazy. There was just too much to do for just me. Luckily, I got another job in 2 weeks because I've been sending out feelers from basically the second day on this job. I got lucky. Don't do that. I never did it again, especially the older you are. Do not quit a job unless you have another one lined up, okay? Here's number 6. This person was laid off from their job in 2015. After 20 plus years with a company, I get it. I was with my job 20 years and got laid off. He went for 2.5 years as being unemployed. He now has only $5,000 left in his retirement savings because of those 2.5 years of being unemployed. What do you do in this case? It's tough. It's not like he quit. He got laid off, all right? The only thing I can say is, man, make sure you got an emergency funds. Doesn't sound like this guy did. So he had a dip into his retirement savings. Doesn't look like it was that much if it only lasted him 2.5 years, but he's only got $5,000 left. Make sure you have that emergency fund set up, ready to go, at least 6 months, preferably a year when you're working. And before you retire, 2 years in cash, okay? Got to be prepared for stuff like this, guys. Got to be prepared. Okay, now here, hold on. I need my retirement vodka before I do this story. Yeah. Much better. I feel so fortified. I've never heard about this before. Never heard of it. But, well, you tell me what you think. This man had $3 million in retirement accounts. His wife developed a severe mental illness. Over the course of a very short time, she gave away all $3 million in their retirement accounts to people on the internet. Why? He still doesn't know. But she developed a mental illness and just started giving it to people, giving it to charities, giving it to whoever wanted the money. Okay. all I got to say for that is that if you are any kind of savings you have, right? You can't guard against someone developing mental illness. But check on your money. Don't you think the guy would have realized, like let's say after the first 500,000 or so is gone, that there's a problem? Now it says in a short time. Couldn't have been like 3 days. Well, I guess it could have been 3 days. They don't give us the information, but just be diligent, man. You've got to. Could you imagine if you're in that situation? What do you do? Oh my God. So you got to check. You got to check your accounts. It doesn't have to be every day, but you got to keep tabs on it. $3 million gone. I mean, what do you do? Not much you can do now. His money's gone. So there you go, guys. There are 7 stories from people who lost everything and the best advice we can get from their stories. Yeah, sad. Especially in that last guy's case. Very sad. So anyway, guys, keep those comments coming. We're still growing. We're growing very well. We are almost up. I think we're going to be 45,000 in a couple days subscribers. Thank you so much for watching my videos. And as always, guys, we got this.